So students, this is how we will be dealing with this syllabus. First, we have seen the original syllabus of UPSC. In the second aspect, we have done the digitization, in which we have given numbers to the each and every topic of the syllabus. And this is how, like, this is Indian Constitution, it has historical underpinning. So in historical underpinning, these two topics a student is expected to prepare. Then there is another subtopic which is basic structure. So if you expand the basic structure, in this you have to read meaning, evolution and elements. Then there is amendments. So this is how we have expanded the whole syllabus into subtopics. Every student which will be preparing for mains is expected to prepare at least 200 words on every subtopic of the syllabus, so that if he is able to write all the answers, his total score will be more than if he is skipping even the single question. So try to write all the questions in the mains, and if you want to do that, you have to prepare the syllabus comprehensively. And if you want to prepare the syllabus comprehensive, you should be aware of the number of topics, and to become aware of the number of topics in the mains, you have to do listing or prepare the total list. So here we are with the total list. So in this total list, you will see that Indian Constitution, first topic is historical underpinning. In this historical underpinning, there are two important acts, Act of 1919 and Act of 1935. So from here questions can come like, do you think that Government of India Act 1935 was a point of no return in the constitutional history of India? So this kind of analytical questions can come from this topic, historical underpinning and evolution. Then you will see the basic structure. So if there is a basic structure, what is the meaning of basic structure? Through which judgments of Supreme Court the concept of basic structure has evolved. For example, the famous Keshav-Nanda Bharti case. Okay. Then what are the elements of basic structure? Do you think there is any definition of basic structure? And if there is any definition of basic structure, what are the total number of elements that will be the part of basic structure? For example, Article 32 is the part of basic structure. So this kind of analysis is required to prepare for mains. Then there is subtopic amendment. Here you have to do the analysis whether the amending procedure of the Constitution of India is rigid or flexible. Then 42nd amendment is also called the mini constitution. Why it is called mini constitution? Which parts of the constitution it tried to amend? Then recently Amendment Act 101 was related to GST. So all this recent part is of current affairs, which a student has to prepare from Hindu newspaper, then the Indian Express, then magazines like Yojana. Then you can also cover this from PIB. Then there is another famous website, PRS. Here you will find all the latest bills. So in order to prepare all these things, a student is expected to cover these topics from this kind of sources. Recently 125th Constitutional Amendment Bill was related to 6th schedule. 10% reservation was granted under 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 2019. So basically this portion is from current affairs. Okay, this portion is from current affairs. This you won't find in Lakshmikant because it keeps on changing every year. Then you will see the significant provisions. Recently Constitutional Amendment Bill was in news. National Register of Citizens was in news. Article 35A was granting certain special privileges to the residents of Jammu and Kashmir was in news when Article 370 was removed. So this is also related to current affairs, and every student is expected to prepare. Then in this section you will see Article 370 reservation of EWS. There is also a debate on the reservation in promotion, euthanasia, capital punishment, criminal law, AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Then there were recent amendment in Prevention of Corruption Act 2018. Then One Nation One Ration Card, this was in news. Then Protection of Human Rights Act 2019, which sought some changes in the National Human Rights Commission. Then Interstate River Disputes Bill 2019 was in news. Rights-based approach to development, Aadhaar card and its constitutionally. And finally the transgender. So these all are topics again from current affairs. Paper 2 is mostly from current affairs. Okay. So students are expected to prepare this section very properly. Then again, some recent important bills, if they are in news, a student is expected to prepare. For example, there was a bill on Personal Data Protection Bill 2018, Trafficking Bill, Right to Information Amendment Bill 2018, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act was in news. So this is how you are expected to prepare all these topics. Then you will see that this topic, values in preamble. So this is somewhat static. Earlier was current. So what is secularism, socialism, democracy? This you will find basically from Lakshmikant. 4 values in the constitution. 5 means values expressed in preamble are sovereignty, socialism. So this kind of preparation you have to do from Lakshmikant. Then we will see fundamental rights. How you should prepare fundamental rights from mains perspective. There was debate regarding right to privacy because of Aadhaar card, hate speech due to communal politics and elections going on, free speech, sedition, right to protest, whether it's a fundamental right or not. Recently, T.R. Subramaniam Committee was appointed over Right to Education Act. So what are the issues in this act and what are the suggestions to reform this act? Then again there was in news the 5th generation rights, Ganga and Yamuna. Okay, then cooperatives in India. Recently Modi government has a week back established the Ministry of Cooperation. This is the latest ministry whose head will be Amit Shah, and cooperatives has been made fundamental right. So this kind of preparation you have to do for the exam. This will also cover UAPA, and then we will move to DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy. So how you should prepare this topic from mains perspective? So in DPSP, there is a topic on Uniform Civil Code. This has been already asked 2-3 years back in mains. Triple Talaq was also in news. So this is how. Now this is topic 2. Functions and responsibilities of union states, issues and challenges pertaining to federal structure. Center-state relation, federalism, issues and challenges. Here you will see this cooperative federalism is very important. This student should, for this you should read second ARC report. Second ARC report, this is you can find on net on Niti Aayog's website. Cooperative federalism, what is difference between cooperative and competitive federalism. Then there is third thing, fiscal federalism. Here you will find Finance Commission versus Niti Aayog, what is the overlapping between the functions of two. Then whether Indian federalism, what is the nature of Indian federalism, whether it's a quasi federalism or what kind. Then 5th and 6th schedule is also the part. Then 14th and 15th Finance Commissions has been appointed. What are the recommendations of this 14th and 15th Finance Commission? Recently, Aspirational Districts program has been implemented by government. What are the recent interstate disputes between the states? Small state versus big state debate. Here, a student is expected to develop analytical approach whether forming big state will provide good governance or forming small state will improve the administrative efficiency in the country. Gorkhaland issue, because it is demanding the separate state. 2 new UTs, Ladakh and Jammu Kashmir, has been made by removing the Article 30. Special category states versus special status. Central sector scheme versus centrally sponsored scheme. So this is all will be the part of center-state relation. Then interstate council, it's a body, what is its role. Then Finance Commission, its role in the fiscal federalism, recently appointed Finance Commission, what are its recommendation, what is the role of Niti Aayog in cooperative federalism, zonal council, Delhi and Pondicherry issue of Lieutenant Governor versus Chief Minister, whether statehood should be granted to Delhi or not, then Sarkaria Punchi and second ARC, its recommendations. Every student is expected to go through this commission's recommendations, especially to center-state relation. What this commission's recommendations are there on center-state relation. Then governor and related issues like ordinance. There is controversy over the appointment of governor, discretionary power of the governor under Article 365, also in the executive, and dissolution of state legislative assembly. Then how center encroaches over the power of the state. Then there is a demand to abolish the concurrent list. Then again interstate river water dispute. So these are all the topics related to center-state relations. Every student is expected to prepare this. Now we'll move on the other topic, that is state and district administration. In state and district administration, you will find state secretariat. Then there is a controversy between chief secretary versus cabinet secretary. Cabinet secretary is in the center. He is the senior most IAS officer, and chief secretary is in the state. So what are the difference between these two? And what is the overlapping and why there is a controversy, we'll see in this topic. Then the changing role of district magistrate in district administration. During the British rule, the main aim of the district magistrate was law and order, and after independence, when India became the welfare state, it started implementing a plethora of the social sector schemes. So basically the role of DM changed from manager of the law and order to the welfare. From status quo is to change oriented. So these all are the things we'll be dealing in this. Then district rural development authority, what are its functions and why it can be in news. Then again, this is a very favorite topic of UPSC. Frequently UPSC will ask this question from this local self-government. Previous year also UPSC has asked the question, issues in the decentralization, then whether mayor should be elected directly or indirectly. Recently there was education criteria was implemented for anyone who wanted to become the member of panchayat. So there was a controversy in Rajasthan regarding the education as a criteria for local election. Then PESA Act, then 5th and 6th schedule, then the recommendation of Finance Commission, municipal bond, which enhances the financial stability of any local body. Then State Finance Commission, what are its issues and what reforms should be done to make this body more effective and accountable. Then issues related to women empowerment, then parastatal bodies in local government. So these all are topic. Apart from this, there are some major committees which has given recommendation to improve the functioning of local self-government India. A student is also expected to go through these committees like Ashok Mehta Committee, GVK Rao Committee, LM Singhvi Committee, first ARC, second ARC. So this kind of reports a student is expected to write in mains the recommendations of this committee regarding reforming the local self-government. Now we'll move towards the third topic. Here you will see the separation of power between various organs. So theory of separation of power, executive, and all these topics will be covered in this portion. Then there is dispute redressal mechanism in India. So these are all are the bodies for the dispute redressal mechanism, how they can be improved, what are these mechanisms, what are the recommendations of second ARC, what are the problems faced by these bodies like Lok Adalat, Gram Nyayalaya, National Green Tribunal, what are its recent judgments in order to protect the environment in India. So this kind of things a student is expected to do. Then this is the comparison here, and this is the comparison we will now do regarding the Indian constitutional scheme with that of other countries. So here total constitution of all these countries, but majorly USA and UK is taken into consideration. What are the features common in the two countries? What are the differences? From this kind of things question is coming in the mains. Then this is the fifth topic related to parliament and the state legislature. We'll see what are the subtopics in this. So when you will study parliament, Lok Sabha versus Rajya Sabha. What are the differences between the power of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? What is the role of Rajya Sabha in cooperative federalism? Because Rajya Sabha is the body which is representing the states in the center, and Lok Sabha is representing the common people in the center. Issues related to functioning of parliament, MP Lad scheme, 33% of the reservation. So these all are the topics we will be dealing individually later in the class. This will come into parliament. Then state legislature, demand for new legislative assembly are coming, whether it is viable or not. So all these things are coming in the state legislature. Now the financial administration questions will be asked related to budget, fiscal deficit. FRBM Act has already been asked earlier in the exam. Questions are also asked on the public debt, sovereign debt, audit and account. So this all topics will be the part of financial administration. And now we'll move towards the sixth topic, that is judiciary, executive and pressure group. So when you will study executive, you will be dealing with this all aspects: emergency, PMO, cabinet committee, ordinance power of the president. What are the different powers of president? What is the difference between Indian president and the British crown? Because both are the nominal heads of the government. Now this is judiciary. What are the 100 most important cases regarding the judiciary? Regarding Golaknath case, Berubari Union case, Keshavananda Bharati case. So this kind of cases students should read it. Independence of judiciary, issues in appointment. Recently NJAC versus Collegium controversy was there. Then impeachment of Judges Inquiry Act was there. So these are all the topics which will be covered in the judiciary. Judiciary will also cover the following topics: judicial accountability, issues of corruption, should judiciary come under RTI, judicial standards and accountability bill. Then judicial reforms, all India judicial service, retirement of judges, pendency of cases. These are the different part of the judiciary. Now the most important aspect of judiciary is judicial review, judicial activism, judicial restraint and PIL. Okay, so this portion is very important from the mains point of view. Then you will see Lok Adalat, Gram Adalat. These are also very important. Fast track court was recently in the news. Contempt of court is regularly in news whenever any important person is not implementing the state government or any important body of the government is not implementing the directions of the court. Then criminal justice, Malimat committee. So criminal justice system in India consists of court, police and judiciary. So this reforms, here in police reforms you will study Ribeiro committee reforms. Prakash Singh Badal case, Supreme Court has given 7 directions which if implemented will improve the police functioning. So all these things will come under this alternative dispute resolution mechanism and arbitration. Now mediation, conciliation, current affairs, witness protection scheme, kangaroo court and constitutionalism. So these all are the topics under the judiciary, partly current affairs, partly static. So it's like this. Then again here you will see the latest judgments of Supreme Court. For example, there should be live streaming. Section 497 is unconstitutional. 377 Pathy euthanasia, Sham Narayan Chokshi case, Hadia marriage case. This finally came in PT 2019, whether right to marriage is a fundamental right or not. It was based on this Hadia's marriage case, where right to choose life partner was called as fundamental right or not. So this kind of controversy was there. Then Putta Swami case was again famous important case. So these are all the important judgments of Supreme Court. Then current Lok Sabha has given the nod to the bill to increase the strength of Supreme Court judges. This you should go through. Then ministries and department. Recently new Jal Shakti ministry has been formed. How it will bring administrative efficiency. Then issues and reforms, second ARC. So these all are the things from ministries and departments. Then you have pressure group, interest group, political party, NGO, civil society, what are the difference? Then there is a debate whether lobbying should be legalized in India. What are the political party system in India and world over? National party versus regional parties, single party versus two party versus multi-party system. So these are all will be coming under the title of the pressure group. Now we are moving towards the seventh bigger topic, that is silent features of the Representation of People's Act. Here you will see the controversy regarding the paid news. Again, this is the most important topic for mains electoral reforms or topics related to elections. It is what are the issues, reforms in appointment and removal of the Election Commission of India, VVPAT machines, EVM machine controversy, Nota, criminalization of politics and decriminalization of politics, feminization of politics, state funding of election, opinion polls versus exit polls. These all are the part of the electoral reforms in India. Then again you have the topic of electoral bonds and all these topics from mains perspective. Should political party come under Right to Information Act? Then electoral funding and election manifesto. So this is very big topic. Now we will move to the eighth topic. This is a very important topic. Constitutional bodies, CAG, UPSC, Election Commission of India, Finance Commission, how they are independent. So this analytical part is important from the mains perspective, and factual part is important from the prelims perspective. Then again, this was 8th portion was related to constitutional post. 9th is also related to the body, but statutory, regulatory and various quasi-judicial bodies. This will see CBI, CBC, NHRC, CIC, these are all the different bodies. Then SEBI, TRAI, and these bodies, their analytical question. See, mainly from all these questions will be on the functioning of these bodies. Okay, so this is the essence of this topic, functioning of this body, how far these bodies are able to effectively achieve the goal for which they have been formed, what are the problems faced by this body in achieving the goal or performing the assigned functions, what all reforms has been taken till now, and what are the other reforms which can be implemented to make these bodies more effective. So with this parameter we have to study all this body. Then finally we have reached to the ending of our lecture. Here you will see the 10th important topic is related to transparency and accountability. Here e-governance, corruption, prevention of act, ombudsman, whistleblower act, and all these things has been asked. Integrity pact was also important, so these all are in this. Then here you will find current affairs. Whenever any government is bringing any law to reduce corruption, it will be the part of transparency and execution. Okay, so these are all this topic. Then we will see the important aspects of governance. Good governance, Kautilya, Saptanga theory, Plato, Aristotle. M governance, M means mobile governance, E governance means internet. So what are the steps taken by different government scheme? Digital India, DBT, Jan Dhan Yojana, Delhi's doorstep delivery of government services was started by Kejriwal. So these are all the important aspects of the governance. And finally, we'll move to the role of civil service in democracy. So when you will analyze the role of civil service in democracy, you have to understand what is civil service, what is bureaucracy, and to understand the civil service and bureaucracy you have to understand the Weberian theory. Weber had given 7 to 8 important features of the bureaucracy. Everyone should go through this. Then evolution of civil service during the British rule, recruitment, training, cooling off period, issues, relation between permanent and political executive, anonymity, neutrality, and lateral entry recently done by Modi government. So here we are ending the lecture, and I'll try to summarize what we have done in this class. First, we have seen the significance of constitution and polity in paper 2, that approximately 125 marks has been asked from all these topics out of 250 marks. Then we saw the original syllabus of UPSC. Then we digitized the original syllabus of UPSC by giving number. And finally, we expanded the major topics given by UPSC into all these subtopics. So it is my humble request to all of the students to prepare all these topics and as much as topics as possible before mains. Thank you. Have a nice day.